Coach, what did you learn about your offense through the OTA and minicamp process?
Yeah, these guys have worked extremely hard. I mean, it's a good group, obviously a lot of new faces. We've got a very mature group of guys that, it's a joy to coach because you come in every day, these guys are hungry, learn, improve, all the things you want as a coach. It's been a fun group to work with so far, and we're excited. Obviously, adding Aaron, DK, and the rest of these guys, we're really looking forward to getting in training camp.
As an offensive coordinator, how do you prepare for Aaron Rodgers after you guys met with him, knowing, there could be some time before he comes, of how you want to construct your offense?
Yeah. In every offseason you go in and you evaluate what happened the previous season, and then there's a lot of strategic decisions made. I mean, it's just the roster turnover is so quick now in the NFL. I always say it's way more transactional now than it was 10 years ago and certainly 20 years ago. So, you learn to adapt with the change, and you love to have that consistency, but that's not the reality sometimes. And so similar to what we did last year when we got, Russ and Justin, you dive into their background, you do your research and how you want the rest of your roster and how you want to go forward. And the same thing we did with Aaron. And obviously there's an unknown if he wasn't going to be here, but the way you build things and the way I kind of mapped it out, and that's what I showed him when he got here a couple days ago, we constructed to move forward with him. The way we wanted to evolve anyways really fit his skill set. And so we're excited. I'm really excited to get going on the season.
I was going to say, is it hard to have a break before training camp when it feels like it's the actual start of a new season?
I think you get so used to the longer in it. I don't know what August is like not going to training camp.
Right.
So just kind of really, from 9 years old on, I've been a part of a team, and in August is, one day I guess I'll feel what that's like, not having that excitement, whatever the nerves, whatever going into a new season. But it'll be nice to get a couple weeks and everybody kind of get, recovered, re-energized, and then hit the ground running.
How big is it for a guy like Will Howard to have Aaron Rodgers in that quarterback room with him?
That's a perfect setup for a guy like Will. Every quarterback room around is different. The dynamics are different, but you get a veteran, and certainly where Aaron's at in his career, he wants to pass that knowledge down. It couldn't be a better situation for Will Howard to have a guy like Aaron in the room, and Mason and Skylar, they're great guys, and those guys collaborate, and that's what you want to see.
Coach Tomlin talked about the June reps and how that's good for guys like Will Howard. What have you seen from him so far?
From the neck up, I mean, he's further along. He played in those high-pressure situations. He was in different offensive schemes, obviously going into Ohio State, learning a new offense, some of the things they asked him to do. And then, I think he even said it on the record, just the speed. It catches every rookie by surprise early on, and there'll be another adjustment as we get into the camp and just cranks up, preseason. But Will's done a great job. All those quarterbacks have. Really enjoyed working with him so far.
What about DK? What have you learned about him that maybe you didn't know before you got him here in the building?
Yeah, it's like everything. You do your research. You talk to friends that, guys that play with him or coach with them, and until you get to know him as a person, you're just trying to, see how he's wired. But really, I've enjoyed getting to know DK. He's from down the road. I'm a Memphis guy. He's a North Mississippi guy. Oxford, played at Ole Miss. He is a very competitive player, and he's going to bring in an explosive play element to him. He's a very physical catch and run guy. Perfect fit for AFC North and what we want to do in Pittsburgh.
What is it like having your offensive line where people are healthy and in the positions where you want them to be? Yeah,
you'd love to have that consistency and have, the starting five on opening day play every game. Sometimes it's not reality, and last year was one of those years, and we had it's like musical chairs, and you have to adapt. That's our job, and so it became an opportunity for some of those younger guys to play early and often. Mason, McCormick, obviously Zach, Frazier, Spencer Anderson played a lot of reps. These guys have been around each other, not just on the field, but off the field. That's the least amount of movement we've had in that room, which is awesome. Because, early last year we had a ton of new faces, new offense, first starts, and, we adapted to go win those early games, and we're way further along in that group than we were a year ago.
Lastly for you, Darnell Washington, what has he done in terms of changing his body and what you're seeing from him this season?
Darnell, it's hard for me not to smile when you bring up Darnell. He's another very unique player. I guess we all have our biases. I'm always partial to the tight end room. I coached that room and had a lot of great players with a lot of different skill sets. Darnell's such a unique player. Just the size, the foot speed he has for a player of that build. What he can do in the run game, but really the way he drops his weight, the way he catches it. I mean, you could see why he was such a big recruit coming out of Las Vegas, and just another great guy to work with. He had some very big plays for us last year, and we got to build off that and change some things up, but he'll be a big asset to us.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.